Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
The Jets were on the practice field for day one of mandatory minicamp. Which players stood out? What are the top takeaways from today's practice? We'll talk about that and much more in today's Jake Asman Show. My guest is someone who was there. Robby Sabo, co-founder of JetsXFactor.com, joins us. So let's hit it and get it started. Man, our Jets are primed for a historic season.
The Jets won the Super Bowl. We on top of the damn universe. Our championship will mean more than any of them cheating Belichick ass Patriots.
You ain't lying there.
We got the best defense in the league. We got the best quarterback in the league. I don't give a damn what nobody say. Don't nobody want to see the Jets. Jets.
The king has spoken. The king has spoken.
We bleed Jets green each and every day. This is not the same old Jets. We have Aaron freaking Rodgers. We have Garrett Wilson. Let's go. We have Brees Hall. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chat, baby. Cut the line. We have Sauce Gardner. We have Quinnen Williams. The Jets bandwagon is loaded. Now it's time to talk all things New York Jets. It's the Jake Asman Show. Here we go, Jets fans. Welcome in, everybody. Stop what you're doing. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't. What's taking so long? We are nearing 40,000 subscribers, and I can't do it without your help. So hit that subscribe button and like this video if you're watching live and or after the fact. The Jets had day one of 2 mandatory minicamp practices at One Jets Drive. And Robby Sabo of JetsXFactor.com was there. What's up, Robby?
Hey, what's up, Jake? Aaron Rodgers, huh? What's he up
to?
Wasn't
there. Yeah, where was he today, Robby? Did he tell you where he was?
Didn't tell me. Didn't shoot me that text that he normally does, unfortunately. I mean, listen, it's going to be, I don't want to say fire, but it's going to be a story all week now. You know it. We both know it. The key is, where is he? And if I had to guess, I'd say it's something not exactly mental health related, but something where he wants to get his mind right, like a darkness retreat, and the exclusive, if I could say the word, exclusivity is not so easy to make happen outside of the schedule. If it's something like that, I think it won't be a crazy fire. If it's something, different, I think people are going to get on him. But look, this is the first moment for a 40-year-old Hall of Fame quarterback in which Jets fans can point and say, okay, he didn't do the right thing team-wise in terms of attendance. I mean, comments, forget about the comments, in terms of attendance. And Salah told everyone they knew about it. It was planned. And the other part of it is, I think Salah did the right thing by saying it is an unexcused absence. I mean, what are you going to do? Tell the world that it's excused, that he's a special player? No, it's unexcused. It's a mandatory minicamp. So I think it was handled the right way as well.
Well, it's interesting because on one hand, if he says it's an excused absence, then that sets a precedent for other players to be like, well, I have something important to me. I can't make it. So I understand why, they have to label it as unexcused. But I think it gets lost in the messaging is that the Jets were, according to Robert Salah, well aware for a while that Aaron was always going to miss these 2 days. He participated in the media day the Jets did in-house yesterday, and he also, of course, took a physical yesterday like every other player on the team besides one, and that player is Haason Reddick. And that, to me, Robby, that's obviously a way bigger story than Aaron missing 2 practices in June because he's been at everything else. Haason Reddick hasn't been to anything, and we have officially reached holdout potential now for Haason Reddick. So let's kind of talk about that. Your thoughts on Redick not being there and where things go from here.
I'm still not worried. Can he hold out into camp? Yeah. I mean, I think there's a high possibility, likelihood that that may happen, but I don't think it'll get too far. If they don't reach an agreement on something long term, I don't think it'll get too far because he has to prove himself. Bottom line, he's got to play well this year for that money in the ensuing years. I mean, what's he going to do? Sit out? So it's June. It's minicamp time. Everyone knows after this week, we go into the dead period, the last dead period of the calendar year before training camp starts. So if Redick is your big story and Rodgers is your big story right now, they're in pretty good shape. I mean, I'll take this over Rodgers injuring his calf. This point last year, Rodgers was sidelined with a calf injury. So I'll take this result, so to say, over last year any day.
Yeah, no doubt. And look, to me, the Rodgers stuff, like people will make a big deal of it, is what it is. While not ideal because it becomes a story, the Redick situation, it's a lot bigger because he wants a new deal. It sounds like he originally told the Jets he was okay playing out his deal and then had a change of mind if you read the reporting from Connor Hughes over at SNY. So the question just becomes, well, what can the Jets do to find some sort of solution with Redick? Can they give him a pay raise for this year? Would they give him some sort of extension? Do they put something in his deal where, they can't franchise tag him at the end of this year so he could truly hit unrestricted free agency? We got a long way to go until you even get concerned about him missing regular season games. But this is like the first real football story that the Jets are dealing with. Like everything else this offseason has been smart moves. You understood what they did in free agency, some of the trades they made, the draft. It's the first time where it's like, all right, you acquired a guy that basically now has brought you into a contract situation.
Yeah, I think it's not so much the contract situation that's the big hoopla here. I think the hoopla surrounds the lack of communication that's been communicated publicly to the media. Salah basically shutting it down. Have you talked to Redick? No, I haven't talked to him. Stuff like that. And that's not to say the Jets haven't communicated with him and his camp. Of course they have. But the way it's being portrayed is that no one knows what the hell's going on. And I think that's the bigger story, what's really driving the headlines. And it might stay that way until camp.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see, what they do with Redick, no doubt about it. Now, let's get to some of the actual things that occurred on the practice field today. Tyrod Taylor got all the reps with the ones. So let's kind of start with Tyrod Taylor, and then we'll talk about some of the other things that stood out to you today, Robbie. What do you think of Tyrod's performance? Now, he's, of course, still learning this offense, so I don't expect him to be Aaron Rodgers, but what did you make of Tyrod going out there as QB1?
Yeah, man, Tyrod, he fits in with the defensive-minded head coach. He fits in with Salah and what the Jets offense has looked like without Rodgers. Not in terms of competency, but in terms of conservative play. He's a backup. He's a career backup. And I think he's smart in the way that he accepted that role and molded his role around not turning the ball over and playing conservatively. He reads the field well, but he rarely pushes the envelope downfield. And when he does, they're sort of calculated tries. There was a play today. It was probably the first throw over 10 yards easily on the left sideline to Xavier Gibson. It had to have been a choice route, but it was miscommunication. He hooked it up around 12, 15 yards, and Tyrod went vertical. So, just reading the defense wrong in terms of receiver, quarterback not being on the same page. But aside from that throw, it rarely pushes the ball downfield. First couple completions were check downs, secondary reads, one to Valladay, who keeps getting love. This Xavier and Valladay keeps getting love with the first team. They're rotating, of course, but he gets love from the Jets coaching staff right now. Isaiah Davis was the second completion. So, there was some highlights. There was a nice 5 to 8 yard quick out to Garrett Wilson near the red zone. There was one to Conklin as well. But early on, especially in teams, the defense really dominated, and they did so without, their entire starting offensive line, basically. Kinlaw was in there, but that's basically it.
Give us a feel for what else stood out today as you were watching practice. I mean, Kinlaw being there is the first time he's been there all offseason, and he, of course, was involved with the starters. We know Redick wasn't there, so
Yeah.
Kinlaw added to that D-line room. Redick hasn't been there all along. Your thoughts on what you saw from him and some other things that stood out?
I think it showed that Tyrod has not worked with these guys, a lot of the starters, because there were a couple of handoffs that were fumbled. Defense were just all over the offense all afternoon. They had 6 players in on tryouts. Hakeem Grant, who we knew about, the return man, Takarist, or we'll just call him Tack McKinley, first rounder from 2017 with Atlanta, edge. He made a nice play today, remaining disciplined on a stretch play action boot with the backup, third string Peasley without Jordan Travis there, but he was back up today without Rodgers. So he made a nice play. Elfline is another tryout. He had some time with the Jets a couple years ago. Corey Luciano, no relation to Lucky, I don't think. O-lineman, Jeremy Davis, D-line, and Ilm Manning, O-line. So there were 6 tryout guys there today as well. And I think that's a big thing the coaching staff had their eyes on. Ruckert didn't really see much from the tight ends like we've seen in the past. And I think that was more a result of Rodgers not being there and reps not getting 100% out of each rep, because Tyrod, again, he is who he is. I mean, is he a good backup? Yes, but he's a conservative quarterback. There's no question about it.
Yeah, it's just he's a backup for a reason. Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers. How about some specific players who maybe raised their stock in what you saw today?
Xavier Gibson. He is, his route running is good. And, it was good last year too. It was just the raw traits were really good, but in terms of understanding and feeling comfortable in his environment against NFL defenses, that's what he had to figure out. And it feels like to me, he's figured that out, and he is going to be an offensive weapon. I keep harping on it, but Tyrod in team red zone late in session, Xavier Gibson, it was a 3-by-1 trips, and Gibson was the number 3, I think, not the number 2. So he was the closest to the line, and he ran a route. I forgot who was covering him. I don't think it was MC2. I think it was someone else, maybe a safety, because they were playing single high. Gibson ran a route where he just jabbed to the right a little bit, stemmed to the right, cut it back to the inside, and he was wide open for a touchdown. Unfortunately, Tyrod overshot him, but Xavier Gibson was really looking good. The D-line, like I said, without the starters, it didn't even matter. The D-line looks good. McKinley had some nice plays. Up the middle, the rush defense looked solid. The only positive from an offensive standpoint were there were a couple of rush concepts early in teams that did break off. Isaiah Davis being one of them, where he just gained the edge. Somehow Michael Carter got stuffed inside. He was sniffing inside, and he got caught. I don't know where the inside edge contain was. I don't know who the right edge was, but I think in terms of overall positive, it's Gibson.
Now, I saw Rich Samini put out there that it was a good day for the tight ends. Ruckert, Conklin, Kenny Yeboah made a nice twisting catch in 7-on-7.
Yeah.
What did you see from the Jets tight ends today?
I don't think it was as great as the previous days with OTAs, but I don't think it was the tight end's fault. It was the quarterback not having Rodgers. Rodgers and tight ends are like, peanut butter and jelly. He places it perfectly. Like Yeboah, to Samini's point, Yeboah beat his man one-on-one linebacker in coverage in the red zone, and easy touchdown if the quarterback puts it on his outside shoulder. But unfortunately, it was placed inside, and he couldn't make the catch. Ruckert, and that was Peasley on the throw. Ruckert from Tyrod on a quick slant. I think it was 7-on-7s, not in the red zone, midfield, 7-on-7s. I don't want to say beat Jarek Bernard Converse, but it was a good route, and Tyrod put it in a good spot. JBC recovered nicely, inside arm. So shout out to JBC. He's another one who had a nice day. And Ruckert got his hands on it, low to the ground, thought he was going to catch it while falling to the ground, but then it got dislodged. So with the tight ends, I saw some missed opportunities and some stuff where they weren't set up in some good spots.
Interesting. And, when you look at kind of where this team, like like what they want to do offensively, Robbie. I mean, do you expect 3 tight ends to have an active role in the offense come regular season games, or is it really going to be Conklin and then a battle between Ruckert and Yeboah?
I think if Yeboah keeps going down this trajectory early in camp with Rodgers, what I've seen so far, I think there could be 3 because Yeboah could be the number 2 tight end in passing situations, 11 personnel. If Conklin needs a blow, you throw Yeboah out there. He's not much faster than Ruckert. Ruckert might even be faster, but for some reason, Yeboah runs those seams and those vertical routes really smoothly. So I think if Yeboah keeps shooting upward like he's been, he can be that tight end 2 in passing situations. But for 12 personnel, 22, 21 with a fullback, H-back in line, I think Ruckert's still definitely the number 2 because he's balanced and he's a great blocker.
If you're watching live and you have a question about anything that went down at today's mini camp practice, Robby Sabo was there. We will do some Q&A. Super chats will be read first, so submit those in and help support the show. All right, another thing I wanted to bring up with you, Robbie, is the fact that today we saw Tyron Smith go out there and practice. We saw, obviously, Simpson go out there and practice. We saw Joe Tippmann go out there and practice. So we had 3 fits of the Jets' projected starting offensive line out there. The other 2 guys that have yet to practice fully, Morgan Moses and AVT, but Robert Salah said both are ready or expected to be ready, of course, for training camp. So just your thoughts on the state of the Jets' offensive line right now.
I mean, it looks okay. I wouldn't panic at all. And, without camp, they're still in shorts today. So you really can't gauge what's going out there rushing wise, but I think they look solid. Tippmann adds a lot, number 1. Number 2, Moses might not have been participating, but he was out there and active. I saw him on one positional drill where Olu kind of overextended. They were working on some zone blocking. I don't know what you want to call it. Zone blocking stuff where it's more of a mid to outside zone where you're running and you can't overextend. You got to play it half man outside in. Olu overextended and right away Moses was right there, chatting him up, teaching him up, getting into his stance, showing him a trick. So I think from that standpoint with the veteran leadership, it's good stuff. Other call outs while I read my notes here. Corley, there was a pass from Peasley to Corley in which he was open in space. It must have been his own because Codrington, the young DB, backpedaled, got the PD, but if Peasley didn't underthrow it, Corley would have had the catch. That's one I'd like to see Corley make too, because it hit him in his hand. And even though Codrington's arm was in there, he could have made the catch. So, Corley got hurt in OTAs a couple weeks ago. He's coming along a little slowly. I think Gibson's way ahead of him, but hey, he's a rookie. It's to be expected. And there was another one, Tyrod to Lazard, slant inbreaker in red zone, right around the goal line, middle of the field. He didn't beat Sauce Lazard. He didn't beat him, but it was a savvy route. And Sauce found himself in a terrible spot on the high side of Lazard, trying to use his right arm to knock the ball away when it should be inside arm. So he got the PD, could have been pass interference, but if Tyrod just placed it a little low and looked at the leverage and threw it inside shoulder to Lazard, which is, funky, you're going to be the other shoulder most times, but Sauce was just in a weird spot. Could have been a touchdown. So positive route there by Lazard.
Hit the like button if you're just tuning in live right now. Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. We have some housekeeping to attend to. Alan, who's been trolling the comment section all day. You would have thought when Aaron Rodgers wasn't at, mandatory minicamp today, Robbie, it was like the Super Bowl for Alan with his comments, his joy, his elation that there's controversy now with the Jets. So he writes in, people who are sent to the hole without merit are allowed to skip the like button. Actually, no, Alan, this place is a dictatorship and I'm the warden. See ya.
Now look what you've done, Alan. No more protection from the Asmaniacs. Had to pull you out of the chat and cast you down with the sodomites. Some time in here will feel like you've been run over by the lane train. You understand me? You catch my drift? Give him another 24 hours to think about it.
We will see you later, Alan.
I know Allen, but I didn't realize what is this deal? He doesn't like Rodgers?
No, he doesn't like the Jets, but pretends to be a Jet fan. I mean, before you even got on, he already commented, poor Robby Sabo had to watch an often injured quarterback serve as QB1. Garrett's thinking, here we go again with this bleep. Like, really, man? Do you think Garrett Wilson has any concern whatsoever that Aaron Rodgers is not there at a practice in June and he's got to deal with Tyrod? Tyrod Taylor is the best quarterback Garrett's ever played with besides Aaron Rodgers. So that comment already annoyed me. And then I saw his other nonsense. I'm like, you know what? Let's throw him in the hole. Why not?
Yeah, I mean, hey, if there was ever an advertisement for Rodgers and his, MVP status to a team, today was it. Because it's a stark difference without him.
Robbie, I'm going to need your assistance with this because I think my eyes aren't working properly. Peter Castro has just sent in a $500. His question is simply, Lazard have a pulse today? I have to imagine this has got to be some sort of typo, no?
I mean, if he didn't have a pulse, Jake now has the money to revive him. Holy shit.
I mean, this is insane. This is the single largest super chat I have ever received.
See what happens when I come on the show? I mean, it's just magnificent stuff.
Well, Robbie, your drinks tonight are covered by me and Peter Castro. I mean, man, damn shame YouTube takes 30% of this, but this is insane. So, Robbie, please give us the greatest breakdown of all breakdowns on Alan Lazard because Peter paid $500 for it.
I'll tell you what. I mean, if Aaron Rodgers were to ever have a sock account, Peter Castro is a prime name candidate to use. So, Aaron, I'm speaking to you. Lazard was okay today. It wasn't really noticeable too much, but it was more by default, not his fault. I mean, like I said, at the goal line, savvy route against Sauce, against one-on-one coverage. He didn't win the route by any means because Sauce was still there, but the positioning, it was really savvy to get the inside to keep Sauce high on his right hip because he was lined up on the right side, did a in-breaking slant to the middle of the field, so he was moving up and to the left. So it was a savvy route. I don't remember too many other. He might have had a completion in teams on a quick out. Conklin did as well, which was a nice catch. He extended near the sideline, and Tyrod hit him in stride. And those are the throws Tyrod's really good at. The timing, 3 to 5 step, 7 to 10 intermediate stuff that really works in today's NFL.
I mean, I just cannot believe my eyers here. Peter Castro.
I was digging Castro. I was digging for more, but my brain doesn't work as fast as others, I guess.
I don't know if anyone's ever going to top this. $500 on Alan Lazard. Shout out to Alan Lazard. I might have to get his jersey now.
Yeah. I don't know if anyone can top this. You're baiting them right now.
There's no bait. There's no one who's going to spend $500 on a super chat. It's never been done.
You're challenging the Asmaniacs.
I challenge all the Asmaniacs. Please, I have rent to pay. Addison, 5 channel memberships. They have been gifted. Boom! Sound the alarm. Kiko Man, Skip Money, Bobby Balls. Any relation to Bobby Midnight? Brendan Hopkins, Harley Hauer. You are all officially Asmaniacs. Let's just make it rain today. It's just raining cash. Maybe Peter was so happy that Alan got sent to the hole for his nonsense. So that's why he was in such a generous mood. I don't know.
I remember Alan with an O, but man, I'm learning a new thing today. I did not realize he was a curmudgeon and so cranky.
Yeah. Yes. He tries to be like the villain, but like his trolls just aren't very good today.
It's like Two-Face in The Dark Knight, He starts off okay, and I think he's gonna save the Asmaniacs, and then madness happens. I don't know.
ISU writes in that Peter will not be in attendance at Neil's July 4th party now. He's going to be doing whatever his wife wants for the next 5 years. You got to be in the doghouse if you spend $500 on a question about Alan Lazard. Dre with a super chat. I meant to make this a 500,000 super chat, but $500,000 super chat, but YouTube won't let me. Also, I'm still waiting to cash in my Powerball ticket, all just to say hi, Robbie.
Hey, what's up, Dre? I see your message here. Dre Korea. That's a baseball name if I ever saw one.
Forever Ron says, hold me, Jake Asman. I'm scared. Do you want to hold Forever Ron, who's scared about Rodgers and Redick news?
Nah.
No?
Nah.
Jetpack says, anything positive you've seen from Will McDonald?
Yeah, you know what? Not today so much. Especially when you're up top instead of on the field. You can't really see the trenches too well. But overall, OTAs, McDonald he's been trending upward, I'd say. There was a play either 2 OTAs ago or 1 OTA ago where he got in the backfield, tackle for loss on a rushing play. I think it was a mid-zone going to the left. And I don't even care if he was crashing and getting replaced on the outside. I don't care if it was a scrape exchange. I don't care what it was. He got into the backfield, was in the right spot. So, that was a solid play. And him in the running game, if it's 3rd and 10, 3rd and 12, there's room for improvement with McDonald, but I'm not concerned. It's the rushing attack, the run game where I'm really focused in on McDonald.
We got a special guest that is going to be joining us in a second, Robbie. Before we do that, Jetpack got another super chat. He asked about Braelon and Corley. You already covered Corley earlier, so can you give us some thoughts on anything you saw from Braelon Allen today, the Jet rookie running back?
Still the same stuff. He hits the hole hard. For those who played high school ball, the coaches really loved the running backs. It's tough to find running backs because you have to have no fear to be a running back, number one, especially in high school or Pop Warner or what have you. That's one. Number two, you have to enjoy giving punishment. Can't be afraid. Number two, you have to hit the hole hard. And that's even tougher than not being afraid when you're a kid playing football. Allen and Davis, but particularly Allen, they are one cut, hit the hole, go downhill, and go downhill hard. So Allen keeps on doing that. We'll find out more once camp starts and they're in full pads from time to time. But what's really stood out about Allen is his receiving ability out of the backfield has shocked the hell out of me. So that's a really good thing.
Ladies and gentlemen, joining us right now is a man who has set a channel record for the largest super chat ever donated in the history of the program. Moneybags, Peter Castro joins us now. Hello, Peter.
Fucking asshole.
Peter, you're on the air. Moneybags, Peter Castro joins us now. Peter, you're on the air. Turn the TV down. Oh, God.
I made a mistake. I wrote
I called it. I called it.
Spending $500 for Lazard.
Peter, hold on. Here's what we got to do. He doesn't realize what's happening. Peter, when you call in, turn the TV off. It's like calling the radio. They tell you to put your radio down, right? It's like calling like ESPN New York or the Fan. They tell you, hey, turn off the radio. Just talk to me through however you're calling in. Your computer, your laptop, mute the TV because the TV is delayed about 10 seconds. All right. Let's see if we have figured this out now. Peter, I'm going to try this again. Hello, Peter.
Yeah. No,
Peter.
I'm still on the backstage.
You're on.
You're not on the screen anymore.
No.
Peter.
Peter.
Back.
Hey, Peter.
Hello, Jake.
You're on. You understand what happened?
Wait a minute. What am I muted?
Oh, no, oh, God.
We hear you, buddy. We hear you.
Hello?
You're on.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Peter, I guess we could see how Peter could send a $500 super chat.
Yeah, dude, you got to give that back. He needs some stuff to buy.
Oh my God, this all makes so much sense.
It's such a sticky situation because of the YouTube percentage, right? I mean, how do you handle this?
Yeah, I mean, look, Peter's a great caller, great Jet fan. I mean, at the minimum, I will take this super chat and we will gift him a Patreon membership for the year. I mean, we'll start there.
Yeah.
I mean, Peter, call back. Let's see if we can work through this. He's called the show before. I don't know why he's having difficulty today.
I knew they took out a percentage, but JetX doesn't really do anything on YouTube with memberships or super chats because of the site. We do everything on the site, but I knew it was like 25, 30% or something.
They take 30%. So what's a $500? What's 30% of that?
Yeah, it's decent money right there. I'm not going to throw a number out and be wrong, but decent number. Yeah.
Jetpack with a super chat. Robbie, you're very lucky to have a one-on-one combo with Wayne Chrebet. He's my all-time favorite player. Started watching in 98.
Yeah, me too, man. I graduated in 01. So, when I was playing, it coincided with the beginning of his career. So, it's weird. It's weird how life works sometimes. We're both not radio guys. And I've told Jake this a million times. I'm the furthest thing from a podcast radio guy. And neither is Chrebet. He'd admit it as well, but we just love hopping on as much as we can and taking questions from fans.
By the way, 30% of $500 is $150. So that's a $350 take home.
YouTube, come on, get your act. You don't need to take 30%.
Addison writes in, Jake, Peter called to get his bingo money back. Man. Tom says, give him a lifetime Patreon membership plus a custom jersey and hat signed by Lane Train. The problem is I can't get a hold of the Lane Train, man. He picks and chooses when he wants to call in.
That's like that. You know who that reminds me of? That reminds me of Sour Shoes. Sour Shoes did the same thing with Howard Stern and all those shows. He was on his own schedule.
Mike says, damn, YouTube taking 30%. Let's Venmo you instead. F that. I don't think legally I could say, send me Venmos instead, but you guys know where to find me on Venmo. If you're in the Discord, I've been hounding people for money for a week and a half already for Jets Texans. Pay me, or I'm sending Rob from Glenhead to do the rest of my collections. Most of you have paid, though, so we're nearing the finish line, which is great.
Your collections, huh? There was a guy named Luciano, O-lineman, tryout today, so be careful about saying connections.
Let me tell you, trying to collect 15 grand from people, not an easy task.
We'll talk to Luciano, see what he can do.
Comments, questions, super chats. Maybe Peter will call back. It's funny. Oscar the Grouch asked a question about Lazard as well, but nothing will top this question about Lazard. Just noticing this. Tom wants to know, Robbie, does Rodgers missing today have to do with bringing awareness to Joey Chestnut's ban from the Nathan hot dog eating contest? # free Joey.
Yeah, listen, I'm sure TMZ's on the case right now. And if I had to, venture a bet, I'd say TMZ will break it where he is. But, I'm surprised it hasn't broken yet. No one knows what the hell he's doing.
Yeah. It's one of those situations where he got the bag from the competitor brand, and if Nathan's hot dog contest wants him, pony up and pay my guy Joey.
I mean, we've still got a ways to go until Chestnut takes center stage. He hasn't retired or anything, right?
No, he's still an active eater. You know, they say active fighter.
As we all are, yeah.
Yeah, well, that is true. Aren't we all active eaters?
Yeah. Some of us are more professional than others.
Ladies and gentlemen, joining us right now. Let's see if this actually works. I was still laughing at that first call. Peter, Moneybags, Castro. Hello, Peter.
Jake, I hope you're going to be at Neil's 4th of July because I'm going to kill you. I'm going to kill you right there.
Is that the Monopoly man? Who is that?
Peter, what happened here? Was this supposed to be $4.99?
Yes, definitely. My wife is having a fit.
Well, I'm sure we can work something out, Peter. You're a good guy. You call the show all the time. I'm not trying to steal your money here.
Oh, my God. I'll never hear the end of this.
I'll tell you what. Look at it as a down payment for good vibes for the Jets' upcoming season.
Oh, God.
There's got to be a way to refund. I shouldn't talk. I have no idea.
YouTube is not, believe it or not. That's why I always say, hey, send me your Venmo or Zelle, and I'll send it back to people.
Anyway.
Do you want to hear more about Lazard? I mean, you paid good money for it.
No, I don't want to hear about him. I was just wondering if he had any kind of pulse at practice.
Yep. $500 worth of a pulse.
Yeah. That's about all he's worth. Anyway, I kind of think that I'm not worried about Aaron Rodgers. They're making a big deal about it. The other guy is more of a big deal, Redick. But I'm sure that they had some kind of conversations before they signed him that they're going to do something for him. This is, it's just more of the media. They're sickening when it comes to the Jets.
Yeah, look, the Redick thing, I still think ultimately it gets solved, right? They don't bring him in without being aware this is a possibility. The Rodgers stuff is a non-story. It will be made a bigger story than the Redick stuff, which is actually a story because he hasn't been to anything. Rodgers has been to everything. He's just missing 2 days here, and he gave the Jets notice, according to the head coach, this was coming.
Yeah.
It's everything is blown out of proportion for some reason with the Jets. Maybe Aaron eloped.
Maybe.
Who knows?
Maybe.
Listen, it's the hungriest fan base in the league. I mean, Jets and Detroit, I'd probably put them neck and neck. And, when you got the hungriest fan base, most rabid fan base, everything is going to be blown out of proportion. Get the highest, elicit the highest emotion, whether it's positive, negative. That's the way of the world.
Hey, listen, I love both you guys. Make sure you refund me, Jake.
Peter, I got a question.
Go ahead.
Is your wife more angry at you now than you were in this clip?
Our coaching staff stinks. The team is never prepared. They're undisciplined. They make a million mistakes. And the coaching staff is terrible. He doesn't know what he's doing. Hackett and him are like having 2 drug addicts on the sidelines. They're no good. And if Rodgers doesn't fix this, we're all going to kill ourselves. What happens after Rodgers? They have no plan for that. It's going to be 10 more years of being the shit.
Your thoughts, Peter?
Well, here's my wife. She's going to tell you.
Peter, what was your first word?
Away. His phone is gone. Just like the kids.
Get back to dial-up computer.
Wow. He's losing the phone.
I went to dinner with Neil the other night. It was great.
Oh, I wish you guys told me. I had no idea.
Yeah.
It was,
Oh, yeah.
impromptu.
Very good.
I love it. Well, I can't wait to meet you on July 4th. All right.
You're coming?
I plan on being there.
Bring my $4.95 with you.
Well, YouTube, Peter. I mean, YouTube takes 30% of that. There's nothing I can do about that.
Oh shit.
You're the man, Peter. Good luck with your wife. I feel for you.
Take care, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, the great Peter Castro. Man, that's tough. We'll do something nice for Peter. Well, I already got a couple ideas. He's losing his phone privileges though, Robbie. That's tough.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if the internet goes away completely in that household.
Honestly, I've been doing this show daily 3 years now, right?
Yeah.
That's the first time that's happened, and I'm amazed it hasn't happened sooner.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I've seen it in other places. It seems like a common thing.
$500.
It would have been such a joy to see his real-time reaction when he realized what he did. And the first word coming out of his mouth afterwards. That's the stuff I live for.
That's just incredible. Peter, we'll take good care of you. Don't worry. We'll figure something out. Oh, I'm dying. That was too funny. Let's see. Let's get to more of your calls right now. Ladies and gentlemen, Purple Belt Mike joins us. What's up, Mike?
Yo, what's up? This show, man. Every day there's something new. I can't believe it's too funny.
$500 to ask about Alan Lazard.
Poor Peter, man. That sucks. My question for Robbie: have you seen anyone that's let you down? I know, like, everyone talks about all the good that they see, but has anyone let you down at all?
That's a good question. I'd say Ruckert to a tiny degree. There was an OTAs last week or the week before where he really shined. He was really great. But that catch today, that near catch today, I'd like to see him hold on to that one. Corley as well. And again, I'm nitpicking here. I'm not saying a full letdown, but Corley as well. I want to see him make those tough catches. And granted, the opportunity's not there. I mean, these are, if you don't make a catch, that might be your only opportunity all practice, all week, while the media is there. So I think those two qualify.
How can Corley practice without having a contract?
I mean, that's a question for someone named not me.
It's
Gotcha.
CBA rookies can practice without deals until training camp starts. Like they're
Yeah.
allowed to practice the
gotcha.
offseason program until whatever the official first training camp practice is.
Yeah, I think he's the only unsigned guy left, right?
He is, yeah.
Yeah.
And has Izzy shown any pulse? To quote the Lazard $500.
Honestly, here's what we'll do for Peter. All
Yeah.
right. Anytime he has any super chat, it automatically will get read. And if he calls in, he'll move to the front of the line. We'll call this the Jake Asman Premier Membership. It costs $500.
That's the pulse, the pulse super chat.
Yeah. Izzy, by the way, good call out with Izzy. He's definitely in that category as well. On field, you can't really evaluate him because you hardly notice him out there. It's Allen and Davis and even Valladay. I've seen Valladay getting running with the ones more than Izzy, especially early in sessions. So yeah, Izzy's an interesting one.
Thanks, fellas.
Mike, thank you.
Got it.
NY Jets Flores says Peter should co-host one day. Peter, that comes with your $500 membership as well. You get to co-host one of the shows this summer. That's too funny. I still can't believe that happened. Today's Jake Asman Show, presented by my friends at Huga House. Aaron Rodgers was not at mandatory minicamp today, but maybe wherever he was wearing this hat you see on your screen. Get the same exact hat that I'm wearing, that Aaron's wearing, by heading over to hugahouse.com. Use promo code ASMAN at checkout, and you will get a 15% discount. Buy one hat from Huga House, second hat, 30% off. It's not just Rodgers, it's other Jets players like Tyler Conklin. It's other celebrities like Kevin from The Office and Shane Gillis and the overrated Josh Allen. Also, Shohei Ohtani rocking the Huga House. HugaHouse.com, promo code ASMAN at checkout for 15% off. Comments, questions, super chats will cut the line, but they have to at least be $500.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they will not be read. That is the new standard for super chats. While
Peter should talk to Shohei, actually, who knows something about losing money unintentionally.
Oh, man. This super chat just came in. I will read it, but it's not $500. $500 super chat, not the threshold for a Jake Henny shot. Next $500 super chat, I will do a shot of Henny. How does that sound, Robbie?
Yeah, there you go.
Yep. All right, more calls right now. Ladies and gentlemen, it's that time of the day again. Here we go. Buckle up.
Well, you know that Al's a lion crap of crap. You should check out my new hat. The Jets are freaking awesome. Bobby.
Hi, Robbie.
What's up, Bobby? Is that a
Hi,
new
Jake.
intro song?
I got 5 of them.
Yeah, I think I've heard each one. You know, I don't think I've heard all 5, actually, to be honest.
Here's the most recent one.
Well, you know I have my own YouTube show. If I'm awake, I'm going live. Unless Jake has a show. Bobby.
Haven't heard that one yet. Yep.
That's the 5th one. Hey,
Beautiful.
Jake, I wanted to tell you, remember that Mike guy today? Mark Holmes, you kicked out?
The Cowboys guy?
Yeah, he has his own cowboy channel. He is a doofus. He is a doofus. I went on his show. I was a Giant fan. I told him off on the show. He's a doofus.
So,
Nice.
Bobby, do you like him or do you not like him?
I don't like him. He's a big mouth man. He never shuts up.
What's his name? What's his name again? What's his
Mark
channel?
Holmes. Look at Mark Holmes. He does his own Dallas Cowgirl channel.
Okay. I'll do a little
Dallas
research.
Cowboys. Yep. So, yeah, Robby Sabo, nice to see you today.
You as well, Bobby.
You're a great guy. Hey, when is your
I-
next show at Wayne Chrebet?
It's a good question. I think maybe tonight at 7, if not tonight, tomorrow night at 7.
Okay,
Probably.
because my friend Tommy that comes into my channel loves Wayne Chrebet. So I told him that you talk to Wayne Chrebet.
Update, definitely not tonight. Maybe tomorrow.
Okay, maybe tomorrow. I'll tell him if he comes on my channel.
You
Tomorrow.
got it. Yeah,
All
tell
right.
him to be on a lookout. JetX, the YouTube at 7 o'clock tomorrow.
Yeah, no, you know Tommy with the beard, right? You know, the guy who does his stuff in his apartment, Jake, you know what I mean? It's pretty big. You know what he
He
does.
he smokes a bong, Bob. Is that what
Yeah,
you're referring
bong. My show was last night called The Bong Show.
to?
Yep. It was
Why-
crazy.
Why do you say the word bong like bong? Like why can't you just say bong?
I don't know. Do you ever watch well I think it's funny. I think it's like the Gong
What's
Show.
different about the Bong Show, Bobby?
Well, it's like the Gong Show. You know the Gong Show?
Oh, yeah, but what's different in the programming that you do? Like, is there
No. Everybody on the screen does that. There's like 3 guys who do it at the same time.
Gotcha.
Then
see.
I cough because I don't do it, but I cough. I have bronchitis
getting
sometimes.
hotboxed. I
Sometimes it
see.
goes.
Hey Bobby,
Yes.
what did you think of Peter Castro sending in a $500 super chat to ask about Alan Lazard?
He's a great guy. I like him, and I talk to his wife all the time.
You might
But
have
I
had a
have
bong
a
or
good
two
idea
before
to
that
get
one.
him. I got a good idea to get him, help him out.
Oh, what's that?
So you said, wait, first of all, I want to, the morning brew coffee show, with Jigga.
Yeah.
That's why they don't deal with YouTube. They put this little thing in the top corner, and then you put the phone to it, buy me coffee. So they don't take out any money.
It's like a PayPal donate to me pay, but you could do that, but it's a matter of quantity. You won't get nearly as much.
Well, then you don't lose. The people won't lose the 30% of it. That's what they do it for.
For sure.
Okay, yeah. So, what was before I was talking about? Oh, I got the Peter Castro. Yeah, I was thinking you could help him go to either the home opener or the what's it called, the Halloween one.
I'll tell you what, Peter, if you're going to the Jets-Texans game, we will get you on the field with Bobby Midnight beforehand.
Yeah, that would be awesome. I can't wait.
Yeah.
I know that was such a nice guy with Walter. I still can't believe he did that for me. Right?
Oh yeah, great gesture.
All right. So if you're having a good night tonight, guys, I hope you have a wonderful night. You guys are the best.
Bobby, you got to get some sleep, man. These late night shows are killing
No,
your energy.
I did do my show after yours, so I took a nap.
All right, I'm glad you got a nap in.
Bobby,
Yeah.
we still gotta get me on your show. So we'll plan out a night and I'll hop
you
on.
come on anytime you want. Just
well, I mean, listen, if you're running it from 11 p.m. to 1 a.m., that might be tough.
no, I could come on at like 8 or 9 sometimes for you.
All right, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, it'd be nice to have Robby Sabo on my channel. That's crazy.
I will hop on. That's a promise.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Well, I love to talk and hate to tell you, Jake. When is your next show? Alan is a cartoon character. Bobby.
Oh, I took off the wrong person. My bad. Hey, Robbie.
Oh, you took me off? I didn't even realize.
Yeah, I usually take Bobby off, but I forgot.
You son of a bitch.
Man, we have an update from Peter Castro. His wife is pulling a gun on him.
Is it a real gun?
Actually, now he says moving out. Goodbye.
Yeah, super soaker. She took out a super soaker. He's freaking out.
Peter, call Neil for advice in this situation because I feel like Neil has definitely put his wife in some precarious situations with his love of the Jets over the years.
And where does Castro live? Florida? It feels like Florida for some reason.
He's in New York, I believe.
Oh, he's in New York? Okay.
Yeah, I don't know where. Westchester, maybe? I don't think it's Long Island. He's in the New York area, though. Scott Foster with a super chat. He's been an Asmaniac for 4 months. Peter, tell your wife you purchased her a date with Jake Asman. Peter, I would love to go on a date with your wife if that could maybe calm things down a little bit. Man.
Auctioning off Jake Asman for a date. That's a hell of an idea.
Let's keep rolling with your calls right now. Ladies and gentlemen, the Dodo-tician, hopefully I'm saying that right, is up next. What's up, man?
Hey, what's up, Jake? Nice to see you, man. First time calling in.
Welcome. Well, how do we pronounce your name? Did I botch it?
The Dotatition.
Dotatition, okay.
My question is, do you think that Ruckert could make the team possibly as a fullback? I don't see us with the potential of Cohen and Barton carrying so many halfbacks.
Robbie, your thoughts on the possibility of Ruckert in the fullback role?
Yeah, I think he's fullback 2 right now for sure. I think he's number 2. But if they go with no Bodden and UDFA like Sefcik doesn't take the role, he's the only other possible guy I think that's like an H-back fullback. I think they'll just roll with no fullback, but I don't see that happening. I think Bowden has a pretty good lead on making the team right now.
Okay.
He's just got to stay healthy. But Ruckert, I don't think you rely on him as a fullback, but he could definitely play there.
Cool. Thanks a lot, guys. I appreciate it. And JETS, Jets.
We appreciate the first time call. Yeah. Comments, questions, super chats. This one's only $2, so not $500. Mike L. Boyd Green was on the Bobby Blue Balls show last night. Man, it's tough to get a spot on Bobby's show, Robbie. I mean, it's the fastest growing show on YouTube, and there are like 30 people, at once typically on the show, so it's not easy.
That's what I mean. I don't want to get bumped. I mean, it's maybe that's where Aaron Rodgers is today. You never know.
He's on the Bobby show.
He's getting prepped.
That would make some sense. Folks, if you missed it, here's a short clip of what could potentially happen when you appear on the Bobby Midnight Show.
You know what it is? They can't get the taxes out of that in Airbnb because of Zell and all that stuff. They were so they outlawed it. That's basically what it is.
That must have been recent because I stayed in an Airbnb like maybe about 2.5 years ago.
Was it in Manhattan?
Huh?
Was it in Manhattan?
No, I was in Brooklyn.
I know Brooklyn and Queens has Airbnbs. If you're looking to go out there, you
yeah.
could.
Oh, okay.
You could look in, I think, to Long Island City. I don't know if they have hotels and whatnot there, but Long Island City is like a Manhattan, brand new Manhattan. Like there's a brand new skyline. I know people that.
That's awesome.
Bobby, what are you singing, Bobby?
Nothing.
What's going on? Bobby Bong Show. Change it to that right away. I don't know what the hell is going on there. Hey, Bobby, get me on. Set a date, please.
You could just do a walk-in if you prefer. He's live all hours of the day, whenever I'm not live.
Yeah, that's a good idea, actually, to see what the environment's like. Hop in, pick my spot. It's a good call. Yeah.
You'll fit right in. Don't worry.
What the hell was going on? Someone was flexing their muscle. What was Bobby singing?
He was singing our chicken and pasta song.
That's so great.
All right. Comments, questions, super chats. We'll wrap up here with our guy, Robby Sabo, in just a bit. Pittsburgh Mike writes in, call me in July if Redick and Rodgers aren't there. Then this is a non-start. Rodgers will be there. I mean, Redick, there's a debate if he'll show up to training camp without a new deal. That doesn't mean and look, if he doesn't show up to training camp without a new deal, that also doesn't mean it's time to say, well, he's missing week 1. Like, think about how long training camp is.
Yeah, I doubt he does have a new deal by training camp, but I think the question is whether or not he shows up and reports. And if he does, I think it'll be based on the communication that goes on behind the scenes.
William Sprague making it rain with a channel donation, channel membership. It's been gifted. Mike F just received a membership from our guy, William. Congratulations to the great Mike F. Comments, questions, super chats. King Lowski with some advice to Peter. Peter, keep your fingers away from the money button. Probably smart. Curly wants to know, how is the corpse of Dwayne Brown in individual drills?
Getting stepped on? I don't know. He's turn the page.
Don't answer
Dwayne.
that one.
Forget about his vaccine and political opinions. Aaron's football IQ isn't very high.
Yeah, Curly, very negative. William, another channel membership gift. Rich B just received his membership courtesy of William. Rich B is one of our longtime OG fans of the Jets. I believe that's Southern Jets username. All right, let me make sure I didn't miss any other questions for Robbie here. Last chance to get in. Robert Salah is watching the show. Thank you, Coach. Jake, thank you for defending me earlier today against Bang Mateo. You will never meet a more negative Jet fan than him and Eagle Fang. I don't know.
Yeah, where's Eagle Fang? I haven't seen him in a while.
I don't know who Eagle Fang is, to be honest with you.
Oh, then who am I thinking of? I'm thinking of someone else. Who's the more negative guy? It'll come to me. I can't remember.
Yeah, earlier Bang Mateo said it's crazy that Salah has never spoken
Hawk.
to Redick yet. Oh
Hawk.
yeah, Hawk. Hawk actually called in the other day, Robbie. It was wild.
Oh, well, was it negative, positive? What were the vibes?
You know, he was wearing a full-on Hawk costume, and I don't remember the rest. It was just so absurd.
Freaking Hawk and Eagle Fang. Those two are really close. I mean, you got two birds, I guess. I don't know.
Let's see. Yeah, this was Salah earlier disproving Bang Mateo. It was tremendous.
No, so we've got two inexcused absences. One obviously being Hassan. Spoke to him over the weekend.
Spoke to him over the weekend. Interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Snowball wants to know who is the best dressed beat reporter.
Ooh, there aren't too many top flight candidates, I must admit. And plus, it's like you can't gauge at practice, especially at summer practice, because nobody's bringing their A game. But on game days, I could call out a few. Samini is one because, you know, he's got to be buttoned up for those interviews, face on camera. Hughes is another one, Connor Hughes. So Hughes might take the mantle because he's got a lot of FaceTime in front of the camera and he looks pretty good. Then again, I'm the worst person in this area in terms of best dress or fit, as the kids call it.
You need to go to Alden's on Madison Ave and get yourself some new shoes from Mr. Bonesy.
Yeah, you know what? I do need a pair of semi-acceptable shoes that are not sneakers that I could wear to the game. I admit.
There you go. Tell him Jake Asman sent you, and you'll get the discounted champions.
$500 worth of shoes.
Exactly.
Yeah. Maybe
we should spend some of Peter's money on some Alden shoes, Robbie.
Let's roll. Come on now. And we could wear them on the next show. Full body camera shot.
That's right. Ladies and gentlemen, if you thought the super chats were going to stop at just $500, William, who sent a $100 super chat in the first show today, has done it again. Two shows is worth $200, especially with Robby Sabo on. Bang! Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Unreal. Thank you so much, William. You are the man, dude.
William Sprague. Wasn't that a baseball player? Ed Sprague.
William's wife is apparently been dealing with some health issues too. So wishing William all the best. He said earlier that this show's been something he's relied on for a distraction during all that. So appreciate you, William. Thanks for tuning in always. And you are the man, my friend. Hopefully I get to meet you at a game this year. Let's see. Tom says that $500 super chat almost covers the Alden shoe cost. It would cover one shoe.
Are they pricey at Alden's? They gotta be, right?
They are. I mean, they're the best shoes out there, but they are pricey.
They cost you an arm and a leg, so you only need to buy one shoe in that case.
One single shoe.
Yeah,
no doubt about that. Robbie, any final thoughts before we let you go? Anything we might have missed when we recapped your day at minicamp, and will you be there tomorrow?
I will be there tomorrow, so we'll see what happens. Looking out for a better performance from Tyrod in the offense. I mean, it's a tough spot, no doubt, because they really haven't worked together much in OTAs. So we'll see how the offense does. But in terms of today, not much else. I wouldn't be surprised if the coaching staff does some things to try to get the offense going tomorrow. So I'll have my eyes keenly on that.
Well, there you have it. Robbie, thank you for the time as always.
Jake, as Maniacs, until next time.
Ladies and gentlemen, the great Robby Sabo, JetsXFactory.com. You heard him say podcast with Wayne Chrebet, potentially tomorrow. Next Thursday night, we have a meetup planned on Long Island. Information is on your screen. You already had this information if you're a Patreon member or an Asmaniac. So please join us for the NYInjurySolutions.com summer kickoff party in Hicksville on Long Island. There'll be some food and drink, and please consider making a charitable donation while you're there, as I'm raising money for a friend of mine who unfortunately passed away last month. So we're going to raise some money for a mental health foundation of Westchester, New York. So it's free to attend, but please consider making a charitable donation if you attend. Donation. I said Dalmatian like a dog. Charitable donation. Appreciate everyone. Looking forward to next week. All right. Rapid fire time. Comments, questions, super chats. Let's see what you guys are thinking. Any other Jet-related question or comment or anything else? Now is your chance to fire it off before we wrap up today's program. TB says we need a North Jersey meetup. It is in the works. Week 1, watch party, Jersey City. Working on that. Mike L says, can we donate electronically or cash only? I will probably just collect Venmo donations. I'll have like a QR code people could scan at the event, Mike. But I'm still working out the logistics for that. But hopefully you can make it, man. Would love to meet you. King of Kings, any word on Jordan Travis? Is he still rehabbing? Yes, he is still in the rehab protocol. So because he was rehabbing, you had just Tyrod Taylor taking the bulk of the snaps, and then the third string quarterback, was it Andrew Peavy is the guy's name? Andrew Peasley, excuse me. So you got an opportunity to play a lot of reps. Tom says $500 goes a long way in the Fuzzy Grape Champagne Room. Just ask Bobby. He knows. Henry says, when do you think they resign McGovern? I don't know if they do. If they're going to do it, it would be before training camp. Like, it would be like in this gap between end of mini camp tomorrow and before training camp at the end of July, if they do it. Clancy says we need an Asmaniac block party in July. If someone wants to host that, I'd be happy to make an appearance. All right. Something I got to play now before we wrap today's show here. All right. So yesterday there was a moment on the show when Jets Johnny called in. Jets Johnny, well, he lives in South Florida. He's a huge Jets fan. I just figured if he was a Jets fan, well, obviously his 4-year-old son, Oliver, he's a Jets fan too, right? Can he give us a Jet chant? Does he do a Jets, 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 Jets chant?
Give it to him, Jets.
Jets, suck.
He's a Dolphins fan.
What? Bro. Wait a second. Oliver, how could you betray your dad like that?
How could you do that, man?
Oliver.
He always gets me, man. He's a Dolphins fan.
Hey, Oliver, this is for you.
Just shut the fuck up. I did not ask for the demo.
Oh, my bad. I didn't know there was curses in that one. I pressed the wrong button. That's my bad. Ignore that one. So that happened yesterday. Well, Oliver hired a rapper to put out a diss track against me and Jet fans to respond to what we did to that 4-year-old yesterday.
Yo, Jake Asman, it's Oliver, the kid you dissed. 6 years old, but you don't want to get me pissed. You told me to shut up, now it's time to clap back. Dolphins fan here, bring the heat, that's a fact. Jake Asman, you're a Jets joke. Talking trash to a kid, now you're just broke. Dolphins losing seat, Jets can't stay afloat. Oliver's coming through, spitting fire, take note. Jake Asman, you're a Jets joke. Talking trash to a kid, now you're just broke. Dolphins losing seat, Jets can't stay afloat. Oliver's coming through, spitting fire, take note. You think you're tough, hiding behind a mic, but the Jets keep losing, can't win a fight. We got Waddle and Hill running up, let's go. Jets fans crying, they can't take it anymore. MetLife's empty cause the fans all quit. Wild Dolphins nation cheer, we all lit. Jake, yo, sinking in the sea of despair, while we Dolphins fans breathe that win in there. Jets are washed up like seaweed on the show. Dolphins diving deep, did you want it more? Jake, you messed up, talking down to a kid. Now you're trying to regret that's what you did. Jake Evan, you're a Jets joke. Talking trash to a kid, now you just broke. Dolphins with the sea, Jets can't stay afloat. All of us coming through, spitting fire, take note. Jake Evan, you're a Jets joke. Talking trash to a kid, now you just broke. Dolphins with the sea, Jets can't stay afloat. All of us coming through, spitting fire, take note. Your Jets ain't flying.
Man, never been dissed like that before. So who's responding to that 4-year-old? Just keep sending in your songs, your raps. We'll play them on the show. Shout out to Jets Johnny for that. It's hilarious. Oh, man. All right. That pretty much does it. Thanks to everyone who tuned in. Thanks to Robby Sabo for being part of our show. Thanks to Peter Castro for breaking the Super Chat record on this channel, $500 for a very insightful question about Allen Lazard. Did he have a pulse today? The answer is yes. Yes, he did. All right. Appreciate everyone. Fun show. Thanks again to Robby for joining. Thanks to everyone who tuned in. We will be back tomorrow. We got a lot still to talk about. We'll have the fallout from the Redick and Rodgers stuff. Plenty of more Jet content to get into. Salah, I believe, speaks again tomorrow, so I'll go live after he speaks. And then another practice. Nick Faria is going to join us to recap that practice. So Nick will be joining us for the first time in a while this offseason. So I'm looking forward to that. That's the content schedule coming up. I will talk to you guys soon. JETS, 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 Jets. Let's go to Lane, who's up next. Hello, Lane.
Hey, oh, hi.
Hello, Lane.
How is everything? Yes?
You're on the air, Lane.
Oh, hello.
Hello, Lane.
Hi. So, yeah, I'm happy about the way the Jets played today. And, you know, they moved the ball, and they did great. Look, okay. I mean, I know it was raining out. Did you see the game?
No, I didn't watch it. What happened?
Well, they won. And the other team lost.
Lane, thank you. Come on, man. That can't be a real call. Lane, call back anytime, man. The Jets won today, by the way, folks. I don't know if you guys saw the game.